Many successful men don't feel rejected, they feel invisible. So they may have success everywhere else. So people respect them, maybe respect them at their job. So they have careers, maybe very successful careers. Maybe they're doing very well financially. They have friends, they have goals. They have goals that they're meeting, not just have goals, but they're actually achieving these goals. They have stability. So maybe they have a house, maybe they have a condo. They have stability in their life, yet romantically, they feel unseen. Does that sort of sound true? That maybe you feel like you're doing everything right, right? You've followed all the rules, you've done everything that society expects from you, and yet you feel unseen by women, by this one aspect of your life. So many of you, if you're feeling romantically unseen, are asking some, well, painful questions like, so what am I missing here? What am I not doing, or what am I doing wrong? Why does nobody notice me? Why do other men seem to attract women almost effortlessly? And then these questions can often become obsessive, especially if you're on these apps and then you're sort of negatively, affected every time you go on there, and it's reinforcing this idea of nobody wants me, nobody's romantically attracted to me. And you're thinking, what am I doing wrong? What's wrong with me? Uh, it's often not your appearance. About that, uh, there are some minimal things you could do for your appearance. Basic hygiene, basic health and fitness. But here's the thing, it's not that women don't care about our appearance. Clearly they do. But I've talked to hundreds and hundreds of very successful, very attractive women, and kind of what they're looking for is a lot of times they'll say, well, he has to have, good hygiene, which means many of you are showing up without good hygiene. So look the best you can. Take pride in your appearance. Exercise. You don't have to have a six pack. In fact, a lot of times they don't even want that. Or it's like, yeah, that'd be great if he did, but I don't really care. Here's what they don't want. They don't want a guy who is obese, so very overweight. So get reasonably fit, or at least strive and start trying to be that. And they don't want a guy who's skinny. They often say skinny or really thin. So a few extra pounds is often not only okay by them, but they might prefer it. So dad bods, maybe dad bods, but of men who are active, or dad bods of men who are still going to the gym and trying to eat right and be healthy, but don't have that perfect body. That's okay, but just have pride in your appearance. That speaks volumes just by a glance. So even though it could have something to do with looks, it's not as much as you think. But a lot of times you're saying things like, it must be my looks, right? I think women just must not be attracted to men who look like me. And then you're filling in the blank, whatever that might mean. So again, sometimes that's a part of it, but often the bigger picture or issue, if you want to put it that way, is emotional self-protection. Essentially, it's this hidden self-protection. You're protecting yourself because you're fearing rejection. So if you're fearing rejection, you may then speak less. You may reveal less about yourself, which at first might be an okay thing to do, but not forever. And then you may initiate less. That is a big deal. And then you may take fewer risks. That's always a big deal. You'll regret the things you didn't try, right? So let go of mistakes or what you label as mistakes and take more risks. Do something every day that scares you a little bit. You've heard that quote. And ironically, it's the protection itself that creates your invisibility. You're protecting yourself so much, you've become invisible. You've hidden yourself away from the world to protect your emotions, basically, your unconscious emotions. That's what we're talking about. So the problem may not be that nobody sees you. The problem may be that you've learned to not fully show yourself. So you're not making yourself, maybe your authentic, true self, seen, and so then therefore you feel invisible by the very women you're trying to attract. I will see you on the next video.